wilderness is a vast and beautiful place. It attracts millions of people every year. But there's a sinister side to this vast beauty. Millions of people visit, yet thousands of people go missing, some under unexplained and bizarre circumstances. Now, there are those who become lost and disoriented and die from natural causes due to the elements. But there are cases where people simply vanish without a trace. People walking and suddenly their footprints just stop in the dirt. People who have been climbing mountains with each other and suddenly the person behind them on the rope just isn't there anymore. People going on hiking trips together. The person either behind them or in front of them steps out of sight and is never seen again. There are bizarre instances that have been happening in our national parks. Mr. David Paulides has covered these in his series of books called The Missing 411. It is fascinating, captivating reading, and I suggest that if this fascinates you, go to his site, Can-Am Missing. The books are $25. They are great reads, and it's fascinating and scary, frightening. It will definitely keep you up at night. But what really happens to these people that disappear under these bizarre circumstances? What's taking these people? Well, tonight in this video, hopefully we will cover a few areas that may be plausible possibilities. But I must warn you, this may go into some areas that some people might consider fantastic. Yet, in a world where anything is possible, who really knows? Just in the United States alone, there is approximately 109 million acres of unexplored wilderness. There are those who don't like to touch the subject of cryptids, but I must explore this option because, as I said earlier, 109 million acres of wilderness lay unexplored. We don't know to an extent what exactly is out there. Every year, scientists discover new creatures, new species of insect. So the possibility is endless. We cannot say for certain that there are no cryptids or that cryptids don't exist, because behind every legend, every myth, there is an air of fact and truth. So one must always prepare to explore the possibilities. The Dogman, which is pictured here, is one of the cryptids that I have explored on some of my other shows. And I also have listened to Dogman Encounters, which is a great show. I recommend you guys look it up on YouTube. The next cryptid, of course, probably needs no introduction, but I'll go ahead and say it anyway. Mr. Bigfoot, or Sasquatch, Skunk Ape, the many names of Bigfoot. I just call him Bigfoot, but there are many stories, eyewitness accounts that date back hundreds of years. There are many witnesses who are very, very, very credible. So, is there another creature out there that is similar to Bigfoot that may be responsible for some people going missing? Hunters, hikers, backpackers? Last, but certainly not least on the list of cryptids is the skinwalker. Now, there have been in modern times, recent times, people who have had some pretty scary encounters with these skinwalkers, and they are from Native American lore. So are skinwalkers responsible for the disappearance of people? perhaps it is a fascinating and tantalizing prospect. Another theory that has been speculated by many people is that perhaps people are going missing because of a phenomenon that exists called portals. Now, there are some scientists who believe that portals can exist. There are still others who have been traversing the wilderness who have claimed to have seen something like portals, something highly unusual. There was the report of a hunter who stumbled upon a mass, as he described it, something transparent. You could see through it, yet you couldn't see through it. His words. And he proceeded to take his foot and slide his foot into this thing, a potential portal, and his foot disappeared. So needless to say, it frightened him and he ran, but me personally, I don't think I would have taken that chance. But portals are a fascinating possibility. This hunter also stated that had he not been paying attention, he probably would have walked right into this thing because it blends into the background. You know, it looks like some kind of disturbance if you're paying attention, but if you're not, you could easily walk into it. So that's another fascinating possibility that should be explored. There's another fascinating case of a hunter who vanished while hunting with his buddies. They were all elderly men up in age, and one of the hunters claimed to have heard a strange and unusual noise that he had not heard in all his 50 years of hunting in that area. He described the noise as like either a zap or a trap door. The noise was fast and loud and seemed to come from the direction where the other hunter who had vanished was located. Now, that in itself is also fascinating, and if you want to know more about that case and a lot of these cases, I highly recommend going to Can-Am Missing. If you haven't heard of Mr. Dave Paulides, check out his work. He is an expert and has done research on missing people in the wilderness and in our national parks. I have based a lot of my shows on what he has done because I believe spreading the word and getting people aware of some of the dangers that may face them in the wilderness is very important. People should know what's going on. So if you want to know details, go to Can-Am Missing. His book's $25. I bought his books, and fascinating reading. It'll keep you up all night. It's creepy, it's frightening, and well written and well documented. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. As always, I love you guys. You're my subscribers, and I appreciate you watching my shows and my videos. Please remember to like, share, subscribe. Check that notification bell to make sure you get the latest downloads or uploads, I should say. But God bless you guys. Y'all have a great one and take care of each other out there. All right? And I'll see you next time.